Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. Dang it! I recorded a 30-minute Rudy Giuliani video last night, and I posted on my community page the summary of that. And one of the predictions on that was that the jury was going to decide very quickly in that case. Like I had the Knight of Swords as the card underneath it, and the Eight of Wands. So both are fast-moving cards. So I figured, I think in the video I said, it's possibly could have it done by Friday. And I was kind of musing to myself because they don't want to ruin their weekend with having to go back on Monday type of thing. But if it didn't get done on Friday, I figured it would be done by like midday on Monday. You know, it kind of also sends a message that you're a jerk. And we decided really quickly you're a jerk and how much you have to pay. In that, I also had seen that he was hiding money, and the ladies were celebrating. There were a lot of celebration cards, a lot of Three of Cups cards, that money would be found. Now, honestly, I don't think they're going to get $150 million out of this. Rudy just doesn't have that kind of money. But they will get something out of it. And then it was interesting during that reading, I also kind of started recognizing the parallels between Rudy Giuliani and Donald Trump. You know, they're within 3 years of age, and how their popularity and their careers kind of track over time. This is going to be kind of a redo of the Rudy reading, but I'm really strongly considering doing a spiritual brothers reading with Trump and Rudy Giuliani, because I think that would be interesting. Because it seems like whatever's happening to Rudy is going to be happening to Trump, either at the same time, or Trump might be a little bit behind on that, because he is 3 years younger. So, interesting stuff. All right, so so the jury again decided $150 million or so that they were going to award Ruby, Freeman, and Shay Moss. Let's look at the energy around how's Rudy feeling right now that this verdict has come out. Entertainment purposes only. What do we got? Well, that's a pretty good description. Huge disappointment. It's funny. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything. Basically, any money or any chance of retirement or something like that is gone. It's just absolutely gone. Plus, he has more lawsuits from like the gal that was working as his personal assistant and sex slave is suing him too. You know, I think the only two cups that are up right now, one is he can still drink, and two is I think he's got money hidden away so that he can still live and have some nice things. But his reputation is gone. The majority of his wealth is going to be gone. His career is gone. His legacy is gone. Everything is gone. For what? And that's crossed with the Eight of Pentacles. This man is going to be paying people money for the rest of his life. And he's going to be paying for his crimes for the rest of his life. And, you know, Pentacles are also health. His health is... He's going to have to work on his health. Again, I think he's got... It's documented that he seems to have a problem with alcohol, and that could be impacting his health too. One of the questions I had asked in the last reading was, is Rudy crazy? And underneath it all is, yeah, he's losing his mind. He may not fully be there yet, but he's well on the way. And that's kind of one of the things that, you know, I was saying it parallels Trump. You know, while Trump doesn't drink... You know, Trump is up against a lot of civil cases too, which are going to cost him a lot of money. And Trump's health isn't great. He's under a lot of stress, and he doesn't take care of himself. And then like the Seven of Cups, he's going kind of crazy too. You know, he's being the crazy papaw that's out there. So again, the two of them are paralleling. I will do a reading on that one because I think it's going to be cool. Okay, in the past we got the King of Swords. Jack Smith is certainly investigating Rudy Giuliani, but let's take it even a step back. Before Jack Smith, there was Rudy Giuliani, right? He was, prosecutor in New York, became the mayor of New York. he was, he was a very public figure with a very positive reputation, shall we say. Went after the Italian mafia in New York. But you start getting more of the details of this guy, and it's like, well, yeah, got rid of the Italian mafia and replaced it with the Russian mafia. Yet again, where's this parallel with Trump, where you have the Russians in there now doing everything, But even still, the prosecutor understood what he was doing when he was defaming Shay Moss and Ruby Freeman. Absolutely understood what he was doing and the consequences of that, but he did it anyways. Maybe he thought because he was who he was, that he was above the law and he wouldn't suffer the consequences of this. That was in the past. Currently, Judge Beryl Howell showed him how it's done. Here, hold my beer. You act like that, you face the consequences. Beryl Howell, absolutely. She found him guilty up front because he wouldn't cooperate with discovery. He just felt he was above this whole case. And she pointed out to him that, you're not. You're not. From what I read, she was actually surprised about the amount that was awarded to the two women. But in this case, the queen trumped the king. Overarching energy is the Eight of Swords. This would represent Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss and how they became trapped in their own house. Their community rebelled against them. They're getting threats. They're basically being held hostage. All because of lies that have been spread by Rudy Giuliani. Giuliani and crew are basically trying to say, well, it's these crazy people that are doing all these things to you, not Rudy. But Rudy's the one. he's like driving the Uber and he's picking them up. I think was an example that I heard. He's driving the bus and he's picking up all these people, and then he knows he's going to drop them off at these ladies' house. So, because of everything that he did to these women, he's going to be paying out some big bucks. The lesson to be learned, yep, 4 cups. He's going to be... He might try to negotiate down, but basically nothing is going to go well for Rudy from here on out. Basically, he's just going to keep getting dealt setback after setback after setback. He doesn't like this result. He thinks it's ridiculous. I'm sure that if he's not been out on social media yet, he's going to pull... It's going to be like Alex Jones. It's going to be exactly like Alex Jones. The only difference was Alex Jones tried to declare bankruptcy to hide his money. But Rudy's going to do that same sort of thing. He's going to complain that he doesn't have the money. He doesn't have anything to live for. His lawyers are saying this is going to be like a civil death sentence. Well, in kind of a way it is, because, Rudy's going to lose pretty much all his money. He's lost his career. He's going to get disbarred if he's not already disbarred. And, we got the Georgia RICO case still coming up that he's going to have to deal with. And I can't remember if he's an unindicted co-conspirator in the January 6th case. So he's got court cases still coming up for him. He is not out of the woods by any stretch of the imagination. And he did it to himself. He's done it to himself, tying himself to Trump willingly. He volunteered for it. Do you remember? He wasn't always there. He was in Trump's ear trying to be Trump's lawyer for years. And he finally succeeded like a year to 18 months or something like that before the end of the Trump administration. He finally got pulled on as Trump's lawyer. Why? I think I know why. Because the money was good. And he was going to grift like crazy from that. But... he was kind of flying below the radar doing his thing. Kind of like Trump. Trump was flying below the radar, if you can picture Trump flying below radar, doing his thing. He had his helicopter and his planes and, making his big deals, laundering Russian money for entertainment purposes only. But, the feds weren't after him. He was just doing his thing, whatever. Howard Stern warned him he was going to be miserable being the president, and he should just continue just enjoying his helicopter and playing golf all the time. And it's kind of the same thing with Rudy. He should have just been happy with whatever money he was laundering and stuff like that. But no, he had to go to the White House and make a spectacle of himself, and now he's paying the price for it. Okay, yeah. I had thrown on this last night. Let's throw on again today. Is Rudy hiding money? The Seychelles are kind of like the George Soros or the Marjorie Taylor. It's kind of like the boogeyman. You know, if you're going to hide money, Swiss base account or the Seychelles. You know, kind of like how the Republicans blame all evil things the Democrats do on George Soros, type of thing. It's, you know, but the Seychelles apparently is one of those places that people hide money. So, is Rudy hiding money in the Seychelles or in Swiss bank accounts? Is he basically hiding money from people? Okay, I think this card came up yesterday. There's the agreements. You know, it's kind of like that. Yeah, wink and a nod. We've got our money. We've got our agreements over here. Yep, we got the pair of twos here. Probably learned from Trump himself how to do this. Okay, there's your money. Part of this is going to be, he's going to try and negotiate down his payments to Shaye Moss and Ruby Freeman. He's going to say he doesn't have any money. He's broke. He's got no money. He can offer them only a fraction of what they deserved. But he's being insincere. Because, he was bad in his behavior, but he's being insincere because I think, although he's offering them pennies, he's got dollars saved. He's got dollars hidden, and he knows where to look for it, and he's trying to keep it secret. Probably overseas. But he's going to represent, and even his lawyers have already done this, they've represented himself as being destitute. He only has his apartment to sell, then he's got nothing left. Don't believe him. I don't believe him. I don't believe him. I don't believe him. I don't believe him. Again, parallels. This is going to be like Alex Jones, or even O.J. Simpson with the Goldman family, where you're constantly chasing this guy around, trying to figure out where he stashed the cash. Will Ruby Freeman and Shaye Moss be able to collect an appropriate amount of money? Let's put it that way. I don't think they're going to get $150 million. I don't think Rudy has that. And I don't know what an appropriate amount of money is. Well, let Spirit decide what an appropriate amount of money is. But will they get an appropriate amount of money from Rudy? Or more to the point, it's what I'm really asking is, if Rudy's hiding money, which I think he is, will that money be found? And if that money's found, will it be turned over to Ruby Freeman, Shaye Moss? Getting the... I'll just take those... Is it 2 cards? Yeah. I'll make those both signifiers on here. Come on down. These are the cards that fell out. Will they get their money? There's going to be action taken. This could be their lawyers, but somebody's got a bug up their butt. They're going to make it their life mission. This could also be the Department of Justice too. This does represent my DOJ card. Somebody's going to make it their mission to help these women get their money. I was asking, will they get fairly compensated? There's going to be some action here. Again, if somebody knows where he's hiding money, I think it gets revealed. Yeah, and there's that 2 of Cups, that negotiation that he's trying to do to get out of paying it. That's the cross here, is this 2 of Cups. So there's negotiations going on. Let's see where this takes us. All right, in the past, in this one, we've got the 7 of Cups. It's kind of the... don't ignore this stuff over here. I'm destitute. I've only got snakes and demons and barren mountaintops. Ignore this cup with the jewels and the laurels over here. he's gonna, and part of it, his lawyers are already saying in court, like, Rudy's crazy. That's why he defames people. Basically, is what he was saying. He's just crazy. You can't get blood from a turnip. He's just a crazy old man. He's got no money. But he's got money. He just had a big settlement come across with him, and this was asking, are they going to get paid? They're gonna get paid. They're going to get paid some big bucks. Again, this card came up yesterday too. The judge is, this is like Beryl Howell overseeing it. You've got the judgment, you got the big decision. The judge is looking over it. You've got the Ace of Swords here with the Queen of Swords and taking action. Rudy did not participate in discovery. Part of discovery is to release your financial records. And I don't know what the judge can do about that, but I think she's going to do something about that. I don't know who she can leverage, but I think Beryl Howell still has a role to play in this with regards to Rudy and not cooperating with discovery and the judgment that's against him. And there's your judgment. I don't know what that's going to... I don't know the law, but yeah, Beryl Howell is going to play a big part in this. Some way, somehow. And there's your money. There's your money. It's hidden around the world. If there's a way that she can find out, through the Department of Justice or through some order, she's going to find that money. And it's in Europe. Or it's like a Swiss bank accounts type thing. Overseas accounts, not in the United States. This is like screaming European, kind of Rudy's old school. If he's going to hide his money, he's going to hide in Swiss bank accounts as opposed to the Seychelles type of thing. I think she's going to enlist somebody or get some order somewhere to track this guy's money down. That's a little bit different than what I was getting yesterday, but that money is going to be found. He's got it hidden around the world. They're going to find it. He's going to have to pay. What else can you tell me? We'll throw a little four-carder. What else can you tell me about Rudy's hidden money or how it gets returned to the U.S. or how they find it? No, anything. This will be a challenge. I'm not sure how I'm going to interpret this, I'm going to try to go off intuition. The cards I don't know if will be that enlightening, but let's see. A little bit more about Rudy's money and where he's hiding it, how it gets found. Yep. Luxury, woman of means. I'm sure his ex-wives want to know where that money is too if he's hiding money. Okay, what do we got? Queen of Wands, the double card again, good God, and Justice, and the King of Swords. It is entirely possible that Jack Smith in his January 6th case, or potentially Fonnie Willis in her case, as the saying goes, follow the money. And it might just be that as they were investigating Trump and funding for January 6th and stuff like that, they've stumbled on like a money network and where people are parking their money to live their good lives. Okay, you got a Queen of Wands and Justice card here. Somebody's taking action again. This is kind of like this is like my Fonnie Willis card. The government, they're gonna find it. They're gonna find this money. I don't know if there's a whistleblower or something, or like somebody who turns on Rudy, but they're going to make connection. You could talk with Lev Parnas, and he might be able to give some clues because he used to hang around Giuliani. But I really do think they're going to find money that he's squirreled away, hidden, Bitcoin and this might be Bitcoin. If Rudy was trying to, hide his money in Bitcoin or something like that, they're going to find it. They will find it. Yeah, just like the video last night, over 20 minutes, barreling down to 30 minutes here. Now, the Georgia RICO case. Rudy is going to be sitting next to Donald Trump in the Georgia RICO case. A lot of other people are going to make plea deals. They're not going to give Trump a plea deal. They're not giving Rudy a plea deal. Rudy's already done his proffers. For those who may not be familiar with the term or weren't familiar with the story, a proffer is when you sit down with prosecutors and you spill your guts. You tell them the truth, and if you offer things of value, they'll offer you a plea agreement. If they opt not to use your information that you have, they will not use it against you in court. They'll just forget it. We can't use any of this information to investigate you further, or at least you have to be really clever and crafty about doing something like that. And so Rudy offered up a bunch of information. He was spent like 8 hours in his proffer offering up stuff. The things I was hearing or reading was that he was intoxicated so often during these meetings, he's not a reliable witness. You can't believe what he says, and he probably wouldn't survive under cross-examination during a trial. So, his testimony is not worth anything because he's an unreliable witness. This is the same thing that happened with Matt Gaetz and Joel Greenberg down in Florida, where Joel Greenberg pled guilty and was going to testify against Matt Gaetz, as was the girl who was allegedly 17 at the time that Matt Gaetz had sex with her, and so on and so forth. The two of them were problematic witnesses. They weren't reliable witnesses. The jury wouldn't believe them, which is why Matt Gaetz is still walking around free despite raping a 17-year-old girl. Not making the mistake of calling her a young woman. I've tried to learn my lesson from the comments. Okay. It's kind of one of those subtle things where they refer to her as a young woman and not as a girl, because it's trying to produce an image in your mind of Matt Gaetz's crimes and the severity of it. So I see where the how words can influence your mind's eye. But Rudy's in trouble in Georgia. He's going to be sitting next to Trump in this RICO case. And there seems to be a lot of evidence. Certainly there's a phone call in there. But what's going to happen with Rudy's? The question is Rudy's health. How is Rudy's health going to be through that trial and with punishments with it? The trial is going to... It's going to wrap up Rudy's... His lifehood, his career is going to be this trial, because he's going to go to prison for this. And this is going to be the end of Rudy Giuliani. The next time, after the RICO trial is done, the next thing you're going to be hearing from him is basically him being released because he's got a few weeks or a month to live or something along those lines. And then the obit that follows that. Yeah, he's going to prison. Rudy is going to prison. Interesting also is that, this could also be the pearly gates, if you want to believe in such things. But yeah, Rudy's going to prison. He is going to go to prison. And he's going to have to pay that fine. I think they're going to find his money too. They're going to find his money. That world card came up before, as did this card. He tried to, I guess maybe in his proffers, he tried to offer up something of value, but it's too little too late, and he's not a reliable witness. In the past, the Seven of Cups got some interesting cards I keep repeating here with him. This is a horrible decision on his part. His lawyers might try and do an insanity defense. They might say that he's not mentally competent to stand trial. They might try that with Rudy. Or Rudy might start losing his mind, and maybe he gets put into a mental health facility, and he's not going to get, if he goes in, he's not getting out. That could very well be. That's interesting. Let's see. But in that RICO trial, I think they're going to argue again. They're going to argue that he wasn't in his right mind. Rudy's trying to keep it together. He's trying to keep his I've seen it as a race between his head and his heart. Which one's going to take him out? So, does he have a stroke? Does he have a heart attack? He probably, if he has some type of medical event, it's going to impact his ability to walk. He'll be like being in a wheelchair and he'll have to be wheeled around or something along those lines. Yeah. That's what this might be. This might be a big health event. Because remember, Pentacles are about wealth and health. I'll bet you as that trial is going on, he has a big health event. And his erratic behavior, his drinking and all that stuff leads up to this event. And he's a diminished person because of it. Either he loses his mental faculties, he has a heart attack, he loses his ability to walk, something along those lines. His lawyers are asking for leniency. Oh, this poor guy, he tried to overthrow the government, but look at him now. Now he had a heart attack. We should show mercy to him. That kind of thing. And maybe some mercy is shown to him because of that. But it's not going to be much. Whatever happens with Rudy, it's not good. It's not good. Whether he becomes a prisoner in his own body, he's still going to prison. They'll try and play on the judge and people's heartstrings. He's still going. He's still going. He doesn't like the outcome of this. He's sitting right next to Trump. He is sitting right. And the other thing is, not only what happens to Rudy is going to be what happens to Trump. This could easily be a Donald Trump reading too, right? With RICO, this is going to be the end of the Trump line, with him going to prison because he's crazy, and he was trying to hold on and steal an election, went around with that false message. It didn't work, and it got recorded. Yeah, Rudy is definitely he's going to have a health event. He's going to be convicted of this. He and Trump will both be convicted of this. Where they end up going, it really is dependent on their station. Where Trump might get house arrest, Rudy's going to get prison. Rudy's just going to get prison. He's going to get prison, whether he likes it or not. He's going to prison if he's convicted. Entertainment purposes only. If convicted, he's going to prison. Trump, if convicted, would probably get something more akin to house arrest. And I know that's going to trigger you. It triggers me because we want to see his butt in a shared toilet being scared of Bubba. But, all right. What can you tell me about Rudy's health, either during the trial or during incarceration? What can you tell me about Rudy's health during the trial or during incarceration? Does Rudy's... I mean, if you think about it, if Rudy gets thrown in prison, he's likely going to die in prison. Because even like a sentence of 3 to 5 years at age 80, Rudy's not in great shape at age 80. Trump isn't in great shape at age 77. But Rudy's looks even more feeble and frail at 80, and he's been drinking a ton, so he's going to have all that to deal with too. What can you tell me about Rudy, his health, and incarceration? Empress, well, he's going to get 3 squares, 3 hots and a cot every day, and he's not going to be drinking, so he'll live a healthier life in prison. We have something changing here. Knight of Swords. Something changes quickly. Waiting for your ship to come in. Truth is going to be revealed. King of Cups. What can you tell me about his health? His health actually It's funny. Prison gives him a healthier thing. He won't be drinking. He can't get a drink in prison. So you've got that. That's just Three of Wands. This is like him getting ready to transition. Again, it's waiting to get out. Maybe he's hoping that he'll get pardoned or something along those lines. And that might happen. Picture, if you will, his health declining quickly, and he's about to meet his maker. And he petitions Biden for early release, or release so he can hospice at home. Is that something Biden would do? I would say in the next 4 years or so, Rudy's going to be in prison. Rudy's health is going to fail. His lawyers are going to petition Biden so that Rudy does not have to die in prison, and Biden will probably grant that. I'm sorry if that grinds on you, but does that sound like the compassionate sort of thing that Joe Biden would do? Just saying. Okay. Oh, anything else on this one? I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to read on Rudy on this one. We talked about his money, talked about his court cases, talked about his... Okay, is it a heart attack or a stroke that gets him? I'm just curious. Heart attack or stroke? Let's see what we got. Think of a stroke as being swords. And a heart attack... think of a stroke as being swords. Yeah, 4 swords. It wipes him out and basically, straight. It killed him. It's like he has a stroke, and then is like that Knight of Swords. His health's declining rapidly. There's that Three of Wands again. Ace of Cups, stressed out. The end of the line. It'll happen quickly. I do not think Rudy is going to be in prison for very long before he's ready to go. And again, I think of Ace of Cups. I think he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna have a heart attack. I think he's gonna stroke out, and that's basically going to be the end. He might be in the prison ward, the hospital ward of the prison, for a while. But when it's obvious that it's terminal and he's going to die probably within a couple of weeks to a month, Biden will likely have him released from prison, and then he can go pass in the comfort of his home with his loved ones or something. Okay. So kind of a sad end to Rudy's life, but that's a path he chose. So he got all the benefits, and he's going to get all the consequences of it. All right. Thank you for watching this, my redo of this reading. Hopefully Mercury retrogrades and such are aligned that I can actually get this one uploaded. Thank you for supporting my channel. I do appreciate it, and everything you do to feed the YouTube algorithm so that my video makes it out to a wider audience. And to that wider audience, thank you for finding me. Thank you for watching through this video. Subscribe if you have a chance. And if you're a Crystal Wolf, keep subscribing every day, because for whatever reason, YouTube keeps kicking you out. And if you're here, sorry about that. Don't know why it does it. But thank you for your continued efforts to stay subscribed. I do appreciate it. Have a great night, everyone. I'll talk to you until later. Bye-bye.